One, two, go.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Olayemi Champion Odushola. I am a family practice doctor based in Chicago, and I work full time in Northwest Indiana. It is a privilege to be here with you today. And with me today we're going to start from Sister Chichi.
Hi, my name is Chichi Obot, and I am mental health therapist. I live in Sacramento.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Chidima Uka Akinlusi. I'm a nurse practitioner and a physician assistant in family medicine and acute care, and I'm based in Sacramento.
Hi, my name is Madukwe Adeyefa, and I am a breast radiologist here in Houston, Texas.
And my name is Dayo Adeyefa. I'm an anesthesiologist here in Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. I'd like to begin this talk by asking the two questions I think it's on everybody's mind is when are we ever going to get back to normal life? And is the vaccination safe? So it is a privilege for us to be here today to discuss about the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccination. And yesterday, as recently as yesterday, the Moderna was also approved. So this is good time to have this talk. Now, we want to let you know that the purpose of having this talk is not to make you go one way or the other. It's just to arm you with information that you can use and base your decision under your physician's guidance, whether to get the COVID-19 vaccination or not. Also, we would like to let you know that we're expressing our own views here. These are not by any means the beliefs of RCCG or WIM. So please join us on this conversation because we're going to have fun on it. All right, let's tell a little history. So late 2019 in Wuhan, China showed up coronavirus. It soon became an epidemic in China and now the pandemic that we know it to be. And it has devastated so much in our society. 1,630,000 deaths and over worldwide. And just in the United States, over 302,000 deaths and counting. They say that there are 2 lives getting lost to COVID-19 by the minute in the United States. This is a big deal. So we need to talk about it. So guess what happened? On December 10th, 2019, the FDA approved under the emergency use authorization, the COVID-19 Pfizer-BioNTech vaccination. Now, this welcome thought would have been a party, you would think, for all of us who have been struggling with what 2020 has given us. But it has even caused more controversy than usual. And you wouldn't blame anyone for being apprehensive about this, because really there are so many factors that are contributing to what we call vaccine hesitancy in our community. Vaccine hesitancy just means that there is a slowness to even trust the vaccine, to accept or to reject it. We already had a baseline vaccination mistrust, but for COVID-19, it is a little bit compounded. And it's compounded for several factors. One of them is the speed at which the vaccination was developed. Usually vaccinations may take 4 to 6 years to get developed. This one took from the day that the mRNA was identified to the day that it was approved under emergency use authorization, 243 days. This is cause for concern. And then the time that it took the FDA to approve this. Usually this is a 4 to 6 month process, and this was done in 2 to 3 weeks because of course we're in a pandemic and this is an emergency, right? Also, we cannot fail to identify that the mRNA technology is a new technology in vaccination. This is the first time that a vaccine using this technique is being released into the society to be used in humans. And we cannot deny the political entanglement that has been surrounding this supposed to be a scientific process. And then there's all the other theories. There's the 5G theory. There's the Luciferase theory. There's the DNA. Will my DNA get altered by this vaccination? Everybody has a cause for concern. And if you look anywhere, social media or not, you will find something that supports what you believe. So we are going to have a healthy conversation today around vaccine hesitancy. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk to Sister Chichi. Sister Chichi, you have made a decision based on what you have found out and what your thoughts are. And everybody is going to have to make that decision by themselves under their physician's guidance. Can you tell us what you decided? And can you tell us what was the basis for this decision?
Sure. My decision is not to get the vaccine at this moment. And the basis for my decision really centers around some of the things that you mentioned earlier. from what I know of vaccines, how long it typically takes, this is extremely fast, less than a year developed and approved. So just the how it was rushed and the unknown aspect of that, and makes me question a little bit about it, and a very, very hesitant. So yes, just around the fear of the unknown, what we don't know so far.
Thank you so much. Sister Chidima, would you tell us what you have decided and why?
So not so far-fetched from what you said earlier and what Sister Chichi mentioned, the fear of the unknown. But I do understand that it's safe. The fact that the FDA has approved it, it is safe for administration. But I'll be coming from my persona as someone who's like qualified as the late majority when it comes to innovations and novel products. They're the ones who are very skeptical and like the reasonable risk takers. So that's where I fall, but I don't let that affect the choices of the patient population I see. I don't let them know this is my decision.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'm going to go to, let me go to Dupe. From what I know, you have received the vaccination. Would you please approach the screen so that I can make sure you still have, okay, you still have two eyes and you both have two eyes. The Adeyefas have received the vaccination. Can you please share with us what your decision was based on? Go ahead and tell us.
I think there's a lot of factors for us. I think, of course, the excitement about this vaccine. I mean, this last 9 months plus has been out of this world, literally. And the excitement of a new vaccine, of some kind of progress, some kind of going back to normalcy, that was what, kind of prompted me. And also because we already contracted COVID and we already know what it feels like. We don't want to go back to that again. And I think thirdly, our background, my background is in microbiology, cell biology. So when I read about the virus at work, they gave us a PowerPoint presentation. It just made sense to me. And so with the science and our experiences, we decided why not? So as soon as they opened it up for vaccines, I was like right there on the line, let's do it. So that's pretty much my experience.
Well, to piggyback off of what Deepa said, same with her. Personally, as an anesthesiologist, I get to work in the operating rooms. And so this is something I see every day. And as in addition to that, I also work with laboring patients who are young in their 20s and their 30s. It's also something I see every day. And so I'm in contact with someone potentially with the COVID diagnosis every day. And so I remember during the height of the pandemic, every time I came home, people were like, okay, go take a shower right now. Don't, drop all your scrubs in the garage, don't come in. And so we've seen the devastation firsthand. We're frontliners at work. And so, yes, of course, when we saw that there was a vaccine available that could, put a stem to this, there was a lot of excitement. And so with the very first day that the vaccine began rolled out at our hospital, which was Wednesday this week, we lined up and we got vaccinated.
Thank you so much. Did either of you have any side effects from getting the vaccination? Would you share with us?
The only real side effect, I guess, is just the mild tenderness at the insertion site, and maybe just a little bit of fatigue, a mild fogginess on the day of, which probably lasted maybe less than 2 hours. So I'm not sure if it was real or maybe I was just expecting side effects. But it's been 2 days since then. Today's Friday, and we've been functioning, still going to work and doing well. So
I haven't had any side effects. I had maybe some soreness at the certain side of my arm, but other than that, no
side effects.
No different than a flu vaccine shot. Yeah.
That is so good to hear. Now, in the study, they had said that some people experienced same things you guys did, soreness, swelling, or redness around the area. Some had fevers, some had chills, some had headaches, some had just the fatigue that you mentioned, and some had body aches. They said that those symptoms lasted no longer than 24 hours and resolved quickly. So if you get the vaccine and you get any symptoms, please, if it lasts more than 24 hours or is getting much worse after 24 hours, please contact your primary care physician. Now, like I said, this talk is not to steer you one way or the other. You have to make that personal decision. And the experiences we are sharing here are not representative of the RCCG or WIM. We're just having a healthy conversation around the vaccine hesitancy. I'm going to go ahead and talk just a little bit about the question that a lot of people have been asking. If I get the vaccine, it is mRNA. Is it going to alter my DNA or change my DNA? Now, I want to say messenger RNA is exactly what it is. It is a messenger. It carries the template for the body to make the spike proteins of the coronavirus. Now, when our body makes that protein, our immune system is triggered to make antibodies against it. So this is one of the coolest things that has happened in life, is that your body actually mounts an immune response without coming in contact with the actual virus. The second thing is that those symptoms that you experience, they are the immune building symptoms because your body is working for you. People are scared. They said, oh, is that because they put the virus in me? Is that why I'm feeling sick? No, it's because when your body is working to make antibodies, these are the kind of symptoms that you experience. And then the second thing is that, well, mRNA never enters the nucleus. Why is that important? Our DNA is located inside the nucleus. So if the mRNA never gets into the nucleus, there is no way that it can really alter our DNA. But of course, everybody's concerned because if you are on social media or own a phone or anything like that, then you would know for sure that everybody is worried about one thing or the other. And there's so many other things to support what you're worried about because it's out there. I'm going to ask you one question. Do you had the virus and you got the vaccine? Were there any concerns about that? Did you think that something would happen? Or what can you tell somebody who is asking that question right now?
I think that's an excellent question. One thing to note is that one of these, when they did the studies, they recognized there's certain patients who actually had some antibodies, and may not realize it when they actually got vaccinated. And there were no side effects or no complications as a result of that. Number two, with the virus, being that it's a novel virus and you do contract, COVID, you do develop antibodies. However, we don't know for how long. And so we don't know whether or not you have immunity for 6 weeks, for 6 months, or for 6 years. Nobody knows yet, it's so early. And so what we do know is that getting the vaccine produces an immunity that is much longer lasting given the antibody that's produced. And so it's one of those things where it makes sense in view of the risk ratio that's afforded to just go ahead and just get it.
Thank you so much. And that's why we still have to wear a mask and wash our hands and, stay 6 feet away, keep social distance, because in the study, they only measured for symptomatic COVID-19. They did not measure for asymptomatic COVID-19. So there could have still been people who had no signs of illness, but were still carrying the virus and could have been able to transmit it. And so if you're wondering, why do I need to wear a mask? That's the reason. I'm going to throw a quick question very quickly about anxiety of what's going on right now to Sister Chichi. Sister Chichi, I'm your patient. I'm very anxious about this. And just in about 30 seconds, what would you tell me?
I will normalize that fear and anxiety because the truth of the matter is this is new and there's an element of unknown again attached to it. So, and that comes natural response of fear. So I will normalize that and I will just kind of explore some thought process around around that fear and maybe perhaps do some pros and cons, basing everything on facts, right? And kind of keeping my own biases to myself and base everything on fact and hope that, identifying the pros and cons will help alleviate some of those anxieties.
Thank you so much. As we are about out of time, we just want to leave you with this information. Again, we're discussing what our experiences have been. This is by no means the views of RCCG or WIM. We're just trying to have a healthy conversation around this vaccine hesitancy. What is the way out of here? The way out of here is herd immunity. It means that enough percentage of the population gets this disease so that we will reduce the spread. We can do this one way, either for everybody to get sick and we don't know who else is going to die, or for some people to get vaccinated and have that acquired immunity. Well, this is a tough subject to deal with, but please talk to your primary care physicians, and make a healthy and an informed conversation about the COVID-19 vaccination. Thank you for joining us, and God bless you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.